going to talk a brief introduction on Central Asia 5 countries and de-Russification. In the 17th century, the Russian Tsar began their conquest of Central Asia. By the 19th century, they had fully annexed the region, establishing Russian Turkestan, 1713 to 1895. Apart from Tajikistan, which is a primary Persian, the other Central Asian nations are largely Turkic. Historically, the Turks divided into Eastern and Western Turkey groups in the early 5th century. In Tang Dynasty in China, and the Emperor Tang Taizong and General Li Jin defeated the Western Turks, while the Eastern Turks were subdued by Emperor Gaozong with the help of General Su Dingfang. The defeated Turks fled westward, eventually forming the current Central Asian nations. During the 13th century, the Mongols launched a large-scale Western invasion, conquered present-day Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan, Wallachia, and funding several states, including Golden Herbs and the Ear clan, Tsahatai and Okhotai. The people of Central Asia had negative views of the Mongols' invasions, as they brought destructions and plunder. Even today, some mosques bear the sores of the Mongols' attacks. In the 7th century, Arab and the Muslims arrived, bringing a strong Islamic influence that has lasted ever since. Today, Kazakhstan's population is about 69% Muslim, while the other 4 Central Asian countries, over 90% of the population is Muslim. In the 18th century, the British Empire entered the regime, coming into direct conflict with the Russian Empire. Eventually, Russia annexed Central Asia, while British took control of India, Pakistan, Myanmar, and set up Afghanistan as a buffer zone. Britain attacked 3 invasions of Afghanistan in the 19th century, but failed each time. Central Asia remained under Russian and later Soviet control until the Soviet Union's collapse in 1991. For over a century, these 5 Central Asian countries were Soviet or Russian territories. The 5 nations, also called the stands, are Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. In addition to sharing the suffix stan, meaning land or home in ancient Persian, these countries are all very clean, with almost no litter in public place. According to local guides, Russian imperial control was relatively relaxed, but the Soviets' rule was strict, transforming Central Asia into a cotton suppliers for the Soviet Russia. Today, these countries are actively working on de-Russification, aiming to distance themselves from Russian influences by, number 1, abolish Russian as an official language. 2, replacing the Cyrillic alphabet with the Latin alphabet. 3, closing Russian media outlets. 4, reducing the Russian population in each country. 5, renaming places originally named in Russian. 6, banning Slavic-style surnames and patronymics. Among these nations, Turkmenistan has taken the lead in de-Russification, It was the first to switch its written system into the Latin alphabet, eliminate Russians as the official languages, and replace Russian media with the Turkish broadcasters. The word Turk in Turkmenistan, English name, reflects its Turkic roots. Being the farthest from Russian, Turkmenistan's de-Russification is the most complete. In contrast, Kazakhstan shares a border with Russia and has the largest Russian population among in the Central Asian countries, with 21.5% of its population being ethnic Russians as of 2014. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, around 500,000 Russians have moved to Kazakhstan, 180,000 to Kyrgyzstan, and 390,000 to Uzbekistan. Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan have nomadic roots, while Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan have agricultural tradition. Historically, Turkmenistan was known for breeding the famous horses, which are strong, sleek, and striking in appearance. Although horse meat is common in most of these countries, it is banned in Turkmenistan. In recent years, English has become popular, and young people are often eager to practice it with visitors. The wealthiest of the five nations are Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan, thanks to their oil and natural gas reserves. China is their #1 buyer, and recent pipelines have been constructed and the facilities trade. Kazakhstan has even collaborated with China and Russia on a canal, the China-Russia-Kazakhstan Grand Canal, which will connect Xinjiang to the Black Sea via various waterways in Central Asia. Construction has begun in March 2023, part of China's strategy to reduce the reliance on the Malacca Strait. Turkmenistan's capital, Ashgabat, has reputation for opulence. The city, rebuilt after a devastating earthquakes in last century, is filled with enormous monuments and white-collar buildings, even giving it a flashy and extravagant look. On the other hand, Uzbekistan is considered the most cultured rich of the five, possibly due to the legacy of Tamerlan, who was Uzbek. This has been just a brief overview, a dragonfly skimming the water, and will follow in the future. I hope you like it. We will see you next time.